Hello, Deep Mindfulness Collective. This right here, right now, is the joy of being a live stream. Coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. Folks, the panel above me, you can't see this. I guess I could show you. It's not that interesting. The panel above me is going crazy. It's so disorienting for me. It's like should this be our entire stream? Just like the forehead stream. Welcome, folks. This is Janusz. And why is it moving like that? Because I just bumped into it. Calm little sound panel. A little behind the scenes. Folks, what is up? Welcome. How are you? What's going on? What's new? What's happening? Where are you at? What are you grateful for? Hit me with your gratitude or forever hold your pizza. Where am I at? I'm going to be traveling soon, so that'll be fun. I'll see if I can do the stream traveling. We'll find out. Lithuania. Beep, 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 beep. I am grateful for. What am I grateful for? Lots of patience. Cat Letterbox is here from Zurich. Grateful for you all. Well, we're grateful for you all too. Grateful for patience too. I've had a lot of patience. That's really the only thing that gets me through with this dog. Dogs are dogs. What are you gonna do? Kayak fishing. That sounds amazing. Are you anchored, or are you just sort of like, I guess you may be, I imagine you're like flying down the river, like trying to catch fish. So I'm guessing it's probably pretty chill water. That's the guess. Kayak fishing sounds great. Or is it a solo kayak? Is that like the nature of a kayak? Is it a solo thing? Kayak fishing sounds lovely. Juice up those talking flaps. Solo kayak, nice. Let me take out these things. I'll hide so you don't have to see me taking out my teeth shapers. My teeth are finally starting to be a little less crooked. They're getting there. Although I'm getting a gap between the middle ones. We're getting there, folks. Doesn't matter, but is what it is. Okay, folks, we're going to meditate today. A little bit of a mystery meditation. I'm not even sure what we're going to do. Although I'd like to do something with kind awareness. If that's okay with you folks. I'm not sure what it's going to be. If I were more organized, I would know exactly what we're going to do months ahead of time and simply be executing on plans every time we meet. But I don't know. I often sit down and say, what are we going to do? Often we'll just do the meditation that I need myself. So let us jump here to this window. Folks, we're going to meditate here for 25 minutes. I'm going to encourage you to allow the body to, I know they're right there. You can tell they used to be really like wackadoodle. There's like all like having a party, a little party in my mouth. So, we're going to meditate here for 8 minutes. That's not right, for 25 minutes. And then we're going to have a good time. So, folks, find a nice, comfortable position that you can maintain for the duration. I realized I should jump off a little bit earlier today, so find that nice, comfortable position. And when you're ready, we're going to begin here. Anyone else coming in want to let us know where you're at, what you're grateful for, and we're going to begin and jump in when Cat Letterbox is ready. So Cat Letterbox, let us know when you are ready, and we'll hit record and begin. Okay, here we go. Excuse me. taking a few comfortable deep breaths and just feeling the body rise and fall. Each time we begin a meditation, we begin with the momentum of all of the previous moments. And so in this particular moment, beginning by feeling the momentum of the mind. The speed of the mind. Is it overly wakeful, overly restful, and using an antidote? If it's one, we're using the other. So noticing if in this moment the mind is quick, jumpy, jumping from one sensation to the next, this is overly wakeful. Or if the mind is foggy, dull, vague, this means it's overly restful. So either adding energy or adding relaxation. Taking a moment to appreciate the momentum of all of the decisions we've made that have brought us to this point. All of the past selves that have shown up and advocated for us, all those parts within us that have taken those actions, some of them skillful, some of them unskillful, most of them neutral, all of which cumulatively have led us to this moment. This is the aspect that we had some control over, so being grateful for all of that effort. Being grateful for all the conditions that make this moment possible. Conditions including our society, our family, our relative stability in a moment where we're seeing instability, great upheaval around the world. It's to recognize and be grateful for the relative stability that makes it possible to experience this moment, to observe. Some gratitude for this conditional circumstance that brought us to this moment. Within those conditions are included the momentum of our biology. So as we feel the body, recognizing that what we're feeling is the life that began deep under the ocean billions and billions of years ago. Imagine if somehow that nearly impossible creation created out of just raw material, minerals, elements, smashing together, somehow creating life, if we could actually have direct contact with those sensations. Well, in fact, that's what we have right now. That's all we have, is contact with that same living force. And of course, there's the momentum momentum of all of the cosmic forces that brought this moment into play. A scale of time that's nearly impossible to imagine. The age of the Earth, the solar system, the galaxy, the universe, all pushing and pulling against each other in these different forces to arrive at this particular moment. If all of those various forces could express themselves in a form that we could have contact with, that we could feel, hear, see, this is exactly what it would look like, what it would sound like, what it would feel like. So feeling a miniature or small scale expression of these same forces that create planets. That form stars are the same forces we feel in our body now. So some appreciation for all of these flows of cause and effect. And now beginning to notice some more localized expressions of cause and effect. Notice that each time you hear my voice or these words, the mind will assemble them into having meaning. If I began speaking in a different language, this would not occur. So the sound of my voice produces a narrative meaning. I can point towards experiences you're having, such as the sensations in your left hand. So notice that my voice itself is causing meaning to arise and causing the mind to jump to different areas. Of course, internally we can resist that push, that nudge. So if I refer to the sensations of your left foot, you can intentionally pull away from those sensations, but this is simply another example of cause and effect. This is the volitional drive within us pushing against another cause. So if we implement that volitional drive, and for instance I mentioned the sensations of the tip of your nose or your right ear, the mind will be drawn to these sensations, but we can use our volition to push, to attend to some other sensations. In other words, doing can affect certain things. This is how we live much of our lives, assuming that doing, the actions and decisions we make, are in fact central to how we live our lives and how our lives are shaped, when in fact doing in these decisions is an extremely small part of our experience. So for now, just letting go of doing. So sound, the sound of my voice can cause thoughts, can cause the mind to be directed in different places. For instance, the sensations on the back of your body. But notice too that the sound of my voice causes mental image. So each time I mention a different body part or location, the mind will jump to that location. So sound is causing movement in this way, movement of the mind. Sound can also cause emotion. So this may or may not be noticeable, but notice what happens in the body when I say, I love you. I love you. You in particular. I love you. We can have a variety of responses. They could be warm, they could be rejecting. Those sounds and that meaning can produce emotion in the body, can produce thoughts in the mind. Now let us observe the sensations of the body themselves, with all of its nuance. Noticing too that as we observe different sensations in the body, this will also typically produce some sense of mental imagery, at least a sense of location. So if you wiggle the toes on your left foot, notice that the mind will produce an image of those toes and have a very clear location of where they're located, where it's happening. So touch sensation can produce mental image. Touch sensation can also produce emotion. If we feel discomfort in the body, or if we feel the pleasantness, for instance, of the body sensation, we might feel a joy, gratitude, or alternatively a kind of sadness if there's something difficult, perhaps frustration. Noticing that there is an emotional response to body sensations as well. And often what we're experiencing is a cause and effect relationship between external sensations and internal manifestations, from out to in. So we can hear a sound. For instance, this sound. And the mind will produce an image of what made that sound. It's unlikely that the mind produced an image of a dog barking or a car honking. Notice what occurs in the mind when you hear this sound. There is a sense of what caused that sound, and this is one thing triggering another. And that sound can echo in the mind. You can likely hear that sound even still if you listen. The experience of the bell striking, the bell ringing, suddenly stopping. The silence that followed. Another cause and effect experience that we're very used to, will often disregard because it's so prevalent, is that our external seeing will cause mental image. So if you're practicing with the eyes closed, go ahead and open and close the eyes for about 1 second. Notice that that shift brings in a great deal of data, of detail. Affecting and complicating the usually vague sense of seeing. If we're practicing with the eyes open, just going ahead and letting them close for a moment. Noticing that the world still appears in front of us with great detail. If you're practicing with the eyes closed, allowing them to begin to open, and staying with the practice as you look around, noticing if there's any emotion being triggered by the seeing experience. You may notice this in the form of preferring. Preferring one material over another is a common way. Is there a preference towards natural materials over synthetic materials? And that instantaneous preference is itself emotional in nature. Wanting and not wanting is expressed as a body experience. If we're practicing with the eyes open, letting them rest on a single point. If we're practicing with the eyes closed, allowing them to close. So this cause and effect relationship from one sense to another is not only something that is common, it's something that is continuous. For a moment, see if you can find any sensation that is unique, separate, autonomous from the sensations that came before it. In other words, see if you can find any sensation in this moment that is present, that has not been caused or triggered by another sensation. So begin to observe the live unfolding of this cause and effect relationship. Observe any particular sensation and notice what occurs to it. Notice that it is often the sensation that pushes another sensation away. But awareness is drawn to something else. Of course, the other factor, aside from just our senses, is our attention and our awareness. If the mind is jumpy as we begin the meditation, or in this moment, in the next moment, the mind will likely still be jumpy to some degree. If the mind is spacey, we'll find that the spaciness of the mind in this moment will telegraph into the next. If awareness is clear and bright, the likelihood that we'll have another experience of a clear, bright awareness in the following moments is much higher. So looking for any experience that is outside of this flow of cause and effect. Any experience that is in some way not overlapping and affecting some other sensory or experience of the mind. And staying with the practice, staying in stillness, allowing a tiny bit of light to enter the eyes. Eventually allowing them to rest on a single point as they fully open. And recognizing this particular moment as the great teacher, it's showing us the result of all of these different forces, of all of these different conditions, the conditions and causes of our decisions, our biology, our cosmology, are all spilling out into this moment. The overlapping and interacting nature of our senses. Of our consciousness in contact with these senses. This is the same ordering structure, same cause and effect that creates the universe. In this way, letting this moment be the great teacher that shows us how we might bring this practice into every aspect of our life. Okay. Allow yourself to stretch. Make any adjustments you need to allow the body to be comfortable. And then we'll go from there. Okay. So folks, what happened? What do you like? What was it like? What do you like now? Okay. Hit me in the chat. I'm going to have to jump off sooner than usual. I know I've been jumping off earlier lately, but it's OPS. I guess it's just you guys, so it's okay. But this isn't public yet. You're hearing it first here. If you ever say I don't do anything for you on the stream. The retreat is live. Meaning you could register right now if you wanted to. The reason this isn't public yet is because I'm only telling people that I really, really want to make sure get a space, because there are fewer than 20 spaces. There's probably 19 spaces. And so I want to make sure people get a space. And yeah. So that's live. If you want to check it out. What's the next piece of data that I wanted to mention? Okay, so hit me with reports, questions, comments, queries, challenges, or concerns. I will need to jump off because there's a lot happening with the retreat. A lot that needs to get done. A lot happening today. Apparently a lot happening upstairs with people clanging and schmanging up there. Hit me with what happened, what it was like, what you're like now. And I will open the Discord as well if you want to chat. Here. And there's the Discord. Retreat sounds exciting. It will be exciting. It's going to be awesome. I would love to do a retreat in Europe. That sounds like really fun. I should do that, but not yet. Do dreams have any significant meaning? Possibly. I think it's fair to say they possibly do. I think typically when you're sleeping, you're processing layers of unconscious material. But it's helpful to know that, it's not literal. It's much more, sort of figurative, and things are like representing other things, and they're sort of, the mind is trying to create order out of sort of something chaotic. So it sees like a pile of something that's kind of in this shape, and it's like, oh, that looks like a tiger, and it's like, oh, well, what's my relationship to that tiger? And then it sort of says, okay, it's eating this other thing. It's like, well, that's scary. So now our fears are embedded in that experience. And so then someone comes and says, well, what does a tiger mean in your dreams? And someone will say, well, tiger means strength or something. And it's like, well, ultimately it's the mind trying to make sense of raw data, and the way it's going to make sense of that is going to apply your psychology on top of those experiences. So yes, it is it can tell you about your psychology, but I don't know that. I definitely would not get behind the idea that they are like literal, or like, oh, I saw a tiger, so there's going to be a war. There's already or, so don't worry about it. Hopefully that helps. So Nate says, per today's noting practice. So what's the sense behind the sensation? The sensation behind the sensation? The feeling of basic awareness. What is predicting that? I don't understand that question. I'm sorry. So per today's noting practice. Okay, so Nate's not sure if it's a practice. What is the sensation behind the sensation? Maybe you're meaning one sensation causing or bumping into another sensation. There is no, it's like a chicken and egg thing. It's like you can't tell what the origin of these things are. What the hell is that sound? Anyway, what is the feeling of basic awareness? I don't know if the feeling awareness is just awareness. I don't know if it has its own feeling. It just, I mean, it can, again, feeling awareness can cause a feel sensation in the body. What predicts that? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but hopefully that is, that's some level of clarification. Let's see. Any other comments, quandaries, questions, challenges, or concerns that are arising? Hit me, folks. First time here. Monica missed the guided meditation, but already feel calmer just being here. Well, hopefully this calms you even more. Monica, did I say Monica? Is that what I said? We have a way of encouraging and inviting people to come and stay and feel welcome. And it's a tradition here. So welcome here. Oh, Mornicle. Not Monica, Mornicle. Welcome. Massive Quant. Wait, you haven't been here forever. Which make and model is your webcam? Looks really good. Thanks. This, my friend, is a Canon. This is a Canon 90D. That is what it is. Nice. Nice. Okay. Nate says, predicting means before, not, oh, sorry, predicating. What predicates that? Sorry, I misread that. See, there's my dyslexia kicking in. You were asking us to look at a sensation and seeing what caused it. The cause, what causes basic awareness? I don't know. That's a deep philosophical question. The actual cause of awareness. I mean, if I were to be very just, cynical, it's a good survival tool. It's probably what caused it was that awareness was a good way to take in our overall experiencing, and that these different functionings of the mind, one that can sort of laser point, one that can take in our whole experience, are both ways that the mind, that we're more likely to survive. Beings that had those different ways of observing were more likely to survive. And now through many traditions in meditation, we're discovering that connecting with that more spacious way of perceiving actually brings incredible relief. And that pointing with the mind is exhausting and anxiety producing. So really, it's a chicken and egg experience. There is no original cause. There is no original thing. You can't find the original thing. There's no beginning to the chain. So hopefully that helps answer. Massive Quant, I think you've been here before. I'm almost certain of that, but it was a long time ago. Anyway, welcome back. If it is your first time here, let us know, but I don't think so. Okay. Okay, folks, hit me with any other questions, comments, queries, challenges, or concerns before we hit the eject button. If you guys are new here, there's a button on your screen that says follow. If you hit that button, your likelihood of becoming deeply awakened will potentially be massively increased. Let's put it that way. Will be? Potentially? So, folks, beep, 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 is any other questions, comments, queries, challenges, or concerns? Dave can confirm his potential went up dramatically. Okay, folks, without any more stimuli, I'm going to hit the eject button. Sorry that we have to leave early today, but we got our meditation in, so that's good. If anyone wants to watch that meditation that you just missed, if you go to our second YouTube channel, it'll be uploaded very soon. We have a giant archive. Oh, I missed your comment before, David. It was right before the stream that you were thanking me for being very consistent in uploading or streaming, and I try to be. I don't think I'm that consistent. I think I miss now and then. I actually almost skipped Friday because I was like, I just can't do it. So I might have to miss. Let me actually check. I'm going to tell you now if I have to miss Friday. I kind of should miss Friday. Should skip Friday. Anyway, it'll be on the Discord. So if there's an announcement, and we'll have a replay. If I can't be here, we'll have a replay going. So, folks, lovely to be here with you as always. Let's put on some music. Why not do that? So, folks, at this particular moment, take a second to soak into your experience. Try to see if you can tell which experience came first. Yeah, a lot of people like Goose. They're like a level 3 jam band. So folks, in this particular moment, see which sense experience came first. Typically, we have the sense that some experiences are separate from others, that there's some distinction between them. In fact, we cannot separate out any of these senses. They're constantly pushing and pulling and overlapping in this way. So watching that flow of this sensation affecting this sensation, pushing and pulling in our experience. This is the beginning of the depth of flow, the depth of the impermanent experience. So folks, have fun. We're going to be back here in fewer than 48 hours. As always, practice well, take care of each other, have fun. We'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.